need to be snappier on that halt button then.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a much nicer way of learning, though. I definitely, like, got fingers caught in the motors.
Oh, to keep it from...
Yeah, because it would, like, you know, the arm's always like this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so if you go to, you bring it back in and you go to halt it, but your finger is underneath the elbow, and then it's, you hit it too long, and then it drives down to close the elbow and the shoulder. Your pinky's right there.
Ow.
Data,
Those
this is sample
are pretty powerful
054055.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
This is sample 054055.
Yes.
Thanks.
I've definitely had it take off on me a couple times, and it's enough to really, like, clock you one.
So are we filling bottles with the super sampler, or is this the bags that we have on the very back of Hercules?
No, we moved on to bottles.
Okay.
I believe all the bags are full.
They are. That's those bags are for the microbiology team.
So are the bottles pre-filled with distilled water or some kind of control fluid?
Yeah, they're filled with distilled water so they don't implode on the way down.
Yeah, I was just trying to picture it in my mind, but yeah, it's a good plan. So just for those of you watching on Nautilus Live, just let me give you a little mini situation report. We're currently just obtaining a control sample of non-vent fluid to go with the sample of vent fluid that we just spent a few minutes collecting. Once we've achieved that, we're going to wrap up at this particular site, and we're going to just proceed through a little bit of blue water above the terrain to a sonar target that was obtained during the last visit to the Seacliff hydrothermal vent site. That was in 2006, I believe, 2005, 2006. Really, we have no idea what we're going to find there. Maybe something interesting, maybe nothing, but it's just a good opportunity to go and add some ground truth to these remotely obtained sonar maps. And then once we achieve that, we'll pretty much be at what we call the ascent site. That will be where we terminate the dive and start to ascend the vehicles. Once again, that's normally going to take us somewhere in the region of 2 hours to get back to the surface, hopefully having the ROVs back on deck at 8 p.m. Pacific time this evening. Weather permitting, we will turn the ROVs around and prep them for another dive and check the conditions at 4 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow morning and hopefully execute another dive.
All right, stopping sample.
Eric, whenever you have a chance and can get me flow rate and final volume.
Yep, stand by.
For IGT temps, there was a low of 1.38 and a high of 1.68.
Cool, thank you. Was that for the IGT?
The IGT,
okay,
yes.
Thanks.
Oh, current change. Current changed.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're now getting flow towards the vehicle, huh?
Yeah.
Final volume was 16.4.
Okay.
And flow rate was 3.2.
Great, thank you.
All right, you can stow the wand.
Copy that.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
All right, I have the wand in bubble.
Ugh, I did it again.
So just to give those of you on Nautilus Live following a quick picture of where we are in the world as well, we are operating currently at 2.7 kilometers depth with Hercules and Argus. We're at the Seacliff hydrothermal vent site, which is part of Gorda Ridge. That's a location on the Earth's crust where the Pacific and Gorda plates meet each other. All of these voices you're hearing are coming to you from the control van of the exploration vessel Nautilus. And we are approximately 180 kilometers due west of the North American coast where California meets Oregon.
Okay, I'm starting to feel what I was doing wrong with the button. Oh, great. That's the brighter is better video. Thank you.
So Eric, we're all done with this activity? Eric and Michelle, can you confirm that we're all done with the supering activity?
Yeah, we're done with the super.
Thank you. Miles, you have ascent teed up.
I do.
Thank you.
It is 750 meters away.
And are we driving blue water through to that?
Yes, that's super fine.
So the pilots are just spending a moment or two stowing the equipment and then parking the arm. And then you heard Miles, our navigator, tell us that our next target is about 750 meters away. And so we're going to just do a little fly through what we call blue water. So that means not following the bottom until we approach that target, and then we will come into visual contact with the seafloor again.
Miles, what direction are we going? What's our bearing?
025.
025.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready, Greg.
I'm pretty rich ready.
Okay. Miles, are we ready to go?
We're ready.
Let's do it.
Right. Gonna go 1 knot.
Okay. Sounds good.
True
I'll
tow
pick up.
mode.
How high off the bottom do you guys want to be?
We're not towing, we're just going to drive, right?
That's the question.
Do you think we can actually get up to 1 knot in that distance? I don't
Close.
think so. Yeah, maybe towards the end. I would drive.
What does the terrain look like as far as how high up we need to be?
We're side hilling,
Okay.
so
So come up 50?
Yeah, coming up. All right, so I am coming around to 025.
Okay, I am too. Slowly. And I'm coming up to 2680.
Yep, and lateral over.
Okay, I will do.
ISC, we're going to be heading into blue water and transiting over to the ascent or waypoint 5 point.
Hello. So we're doing,
Actually, Herc is in the rhubarb, I think he's going to say.
And folks out there, you're going to hear a few handovers. We are into mealtime, so just to make sure everybody gets the chance to eat, we're going to swap out. Then we'll swap out again as people rotate back into their slots.
Hey, can you secure
I'm going to
super?
head out a little bit in front of you, too.
Can you secure the super and perf go?
Why? Oh, stick lock. Right.
So in channel 2 or quad feed top right, you can see Argus's view of Hercules as it makes this little blue water transit, hopping along the edge of the Seacliff hydrothermal vent field.
Yeah, I don't see anything really in the. There's something coming up in the sonar, but it's a ways off. 30, 40 meter. Okay. I've got my proper heading.
So where we're going is hopefully for a nice bit of pure discovery at the end of the dive. We're going to a feature identified in a sonar bathymetry map over 13 years ago. And this will be the first time that anybody's ever had eyes on it. And so we're just going to take the time at the end of the dive to fly over with Hercules and just do a quick visual assessment of what, if anything, is at this site.
Oh, that's a tug. I'm in the middle of your screen, kinda. You want me more over?
So Sarah, this Twix bar that appeared in front of me a few moments ago, was this the 4 o'clock snack today?
I'm not sure when it appeared.
Okay. I'm judging by the number of Twix bars that have suddenly appeared in the control van, and it was the snack today, so I'm going to make the call and deliver that to Nautilus Live. That was the 4 o'clock snack today. It was a whole load of candy bars.
Is this a question people ask?
It's a daily update we have to give on SPL.
Okay.
Is what the 4 o'clock snack was.
Yeah, well, it's a little late. It's also today, though, there is a big fancy party of a cake for Jess.
Oh, of course, yes. It's today is the birthday of Jessica Sandoval, one of our Hercules pilots. And so, as is the tradition on the Nautilus, if it's somebody's birthday, we
celebrate.
We celebrate
sing.
with cake.
Yep, we just sang at dinner, and yeah, I believe she's cutting it now.
Oh, wonderful. I'm sorry I missed it.
I'm sure we can sing it again.
Yes.
You just start, everybody will join in. No hesitation.
No awkwardness whatsoever.
No.
So Miles, I don't know if you can hear me over there. I was just going to ask you quickly. Do you know how long it's going to take us to make this 750-meter traverse?
If we could instantly speed up and slow down, it would only take us 20 minutes.
Okay.
But I'm expecting, yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be closer to 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay, thank you. So to those of you on Nautilus Live offering birthday greetings to Jess, I'll make sure she gets those. Thank you.
Hi, John.
Hey, Cassidy, how's it going?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Hi, John.
Hey, Trevor.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Cassidy.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Trevor.
Hey, Cassidy.
Hi, John.
Miles.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, Miles.
Hello.
What are we doing?
We're cruising.
We're saying
Cruising
hi.
for a bruising.
Yeah. How do you say it?
Cruising, bruising. No, wait. Oh,
Cruising for a bruising.
Something.
Where are
Ooh,
we going to our new
fish.
What new site are we going to? Oh, look at that.
Ascent.
We're going to Ascent. What is it?
Are we investigating something?
I think so.
Yes.
Our future.
Yeah, future indeed. So it's something that was picked out on a bathymetric map. Looks interesting, potentially a seep. They don't know. They want us to check it out before we come up.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So how was everyone's day? It's great to be back in the water. It's a lot of fun.
Great to be back. Yeah, it was a big break
Mm.
of launches,
Yes,
deployments.
a break.
Break, yeah, that's not the word I would use.
May I just say it's great to have some real plaid back in the control van.
Real what?
Real what?
Some real plaid back in the control van.
Plaid.
Wow, as opposed to fake
Plaid.
plaid?
Yeah,
Yep.
you can't be having that fake plaid.
I'm lacking my plaid. I don't know. I'm not wearing it.
You could be. Here.
Look at that.
It's it's almost an official ROV pilot uniform is your plaid shirt.
Plaid shirt, khaki pants, steel-toed boots. Not bloodstones.
Of course,
Whoops.
the Nautilus t-shirt underneath.
Absolutely.
Oh, of course, with the
Gotta.
uniform.
Unicorn?
Yeah.
Weird. Missed that
Narwhal,
middle.
you mean?
Oh yeah, right, the sea unicorn.
Sarah, were you there for singing happy birthday to Jess?
I was.
Nice. That was a
Wayne,
good song.
Wayne came up to let me go to dinner, and I got there. I started eating.
And then singing
We sang to
happened.
Jess,
Yeah.
and then I came up and relieved Wayne. I thought he knew because it was just good timing, and
Oh, so he missed it.
and I was like, "Oh, we sang to Jess," and he was like, "What?" And then he ran off. So thanks, Wayne, for your sacrifice. Much appreciated.
So I was just going to spend a moment or two addressing a question we've had a couple of times over the last few days on Nautilus Live, and normally the pace of operations or science doesn't give a chance for a good answer, but I know a number of you have been asking just to hear about the parallels between deep sea exploration on Earth and what parallels we might be able to draw with future space exploration. And I guess really some of the biggest motivation for drawing those links is that really over the last 2 decades or so, we've used robotic space probes in the solar system, primarily missions like Galileo to Jupiter or Cassini to Saturn. And that's really given us pretty firm evidence that some of the ice moons that orbit these planets, like Europa and Enceladus, host really vast reserves of liquid water, in some cases salty liquid water oceans. And so with that knowledge and the experience we've gained from terrestrial exploration, as we're doing here with the Nautilus, it's kind of interesting to draw the parallels between what we might achieve or what technology, for example, we might need to explore these ocean worlds. That's one of the ideas behind this subsea expedition that involves partners from NASA, NOAA, Woods Hole, and the Ocean Exploration Trust. And really, we're not trying to present the type of exploration that we perform with the Nautilus and Hercules and Argus as a direct analog or example of how we might do this, but a number of science teams associated with NASA and Woods Hole are interested to kind of see, well, is this even a good model? What aspects of our ocean exploration we're doing right now might be applicable to exploring not even ocean worlds, but just deep space exploration in the solar system?
So John, it's Darlene back here.
Yeah,
I want
go
to
for
add
it.
a little bit to that.
Go for it, please.
Because it is a kind of a three-way partnership between the OET, NOAA, and NASA, and then we include a variety of different academic partners, all of whom have kind of equal playing fields. So I want to make sure we mention all of them.
Yeah, please do.
So there is HUI, there's Harvard, there's Idaho State University, ASU, and then there's University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. And hopefully I haven't missed anyone. And then, of course, I'm at NASA Ames, but that's part of the three-way kind of partnership. But absolutely, as you said, so there are 3 different pillars of research that make up subsea. And if we back up a little bit, just to answer some of the questions around what is an analog, it's basically an environment that may offer some sort of scientific or operational element that is in some way similar to what we might experience in another planetary system, deeper in our solar system, etc. So you brought up some really great examples of why it is that we are interested in vents as it pertains to the potential of finding vents outside of our own planet in places like Enceladus, like Europa, that may have similar water rock reactions and the potential to harbor life. But then there's also another pillar to our subsea research program, which is looking at the operations of the ship and shore and this work environment, trying to understand it, characterize it, and figure out whether or not this is potentially a place that we could study in the future as an analog to human spaceflight. So not spaceflight to Enceladus or Europa, but rather to Mars or the moon, which is the new focus for NASA at this point in time, is to return humans to the moon by 2024 and then head onwards to Mars in the 2030s. So there's a lot of activity that's ramping up. We're trying to look outwards broadly so we don't reinvent the wheel, and try and learn from our partners in exploration, whether it's ocean exploration, volcanology, polar exploration, anywhere, limnological exploration, anywhere you can imagine really offers nuggets of information that we can learn from in terms of work environments. And you yourself, John, have imbued me with a kind of excitement around learning more about the astronomy community and the potential there for understanding your ops, and again, as a work environment that we could study to get better acquainted with what it's going to take to drive out requirements that will support human spaceflight in the future, and design things that are well crafted and artfully crafted.
So yeah, I remember
Yes.
from our conversations, Darlene, that really what first drew you to the Nautilus was that it basically provides an incredible example of robotic exploration via telepresence. And the fact that we happen to be doing it in the oceans is just where we're actually doing our science. But it was really the, I guess, our operational methods that first caught your attention. Is that right?
Yes, there were a couple things that caught my attention. So it was in a series of meetings, and so one of the things that I realized is that some of the data synthesis requirements for NOAA when it comes to their ocean exploration vessels, both the Okeanos Explorer as well as the Nautilus, were very similar to, in terms of the challenges that they were dealing with, and the volume of data and the type of data they were ingesting. And having a hard time fundamentally synthesizing that and putting it out in a way that the scientists could then use for decision making in a rapid fire way. So we were, kind of grappling with that as well when it came to instrument data, telemetry of any sort, video data, that kind of thing, and how to actually artfully, again, design something that would put out information that scientists could use very quickly to make decisions. So that was one thing. So we have a technology pillar as well, which I forgot. Actually, I didn't forget. I was just getting to that also lies under our subsea umbrella, where we're designing software to support the scientists on shore in this circumstance, and their ability to make decisions to help us on the ship. And the other aspect, as you mentioned, that I became familiar with through NOAA meetings was this notion of telepresence. And it's a fascinating way to explore. I actually spent some of our down days finishing up a piece. It's like a very long blog, if you will, but I'm going to be posting it on, I'll send a link through our subsea Twitter feed, and they'll also link to it on Nautilus Live, that talks about the inspiration for subsea, so that it's there historically for people to understand. And really, the thing I want to stress is that inspiration doesn't come to a person suddenly. What happens is there are lots of people that I've had the joy of working with, coming into contact with over the years, and the inspiration for anything, I think for anyone, you have to draw all the way back and pull on that thread, and it goes years and years and years back. There's no overnight success. And we actually failed the first time that we submitted this subsea proposal to get it funded. Had to kind of rethink it and really push on the peer review comments and get it right.
Yeah.
And bringing in people like Julie Huber's lab, that was really instrumental in getting us funded, as well as Zara Mermelek from Harvard, and Matthew Miller from Johnson Space Center and his cognitive systems engineering. I think those two really changed and evolved the proposal from its first instantiation, and then made it into this this project that it is today.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great piece. I've already read it, and so I would encourage.
I improved it.
Yeah, I would encourage those of you who follow at EV Nautilus on Twitter to what's the hashtag for subsea?
So we actually just have a subsea Twitter feed. You
Okay.
can just put at subsea and then at EV Nautilus. But I've since, what you read was like the kind of outline, if you will, and I've since written more. So
Okay.
I'll send that your way, and I'd love your input.
Yeah, but certainly once it's ready, that'll be great if it comes out on @subsea. That's it's great for people to be able to read these kind of, you know, to get the sense of how science is done. As you say, it's an extended organic process.
Yeah, it takes a village.
Yeah.
Okay, I have my lovely partner in crime here, Lee, who's back to relieve me so I can go fill my belly with food.
Just in case there was a risk you were getting hungry.
I know. Always hungry. Over and out. Thank you.
Thanks, Darlene.
John, maybe you could list, Darlene in her explanation was talking a lot about, she mentioned a lot of different scientific fields
Right.
coming together kind of for the whole long-term mission and everything. And I think it would be cool to like break down what those are, just kind of, it's always interesting, you know, it's not just oceanography, it's not just space science, it's not, you know, any one thing. But there are people from all different types of science working together to kind of create these missions and complete them.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm not a member of the subsea team, but I've been, like all of us on board the Nautilus, I've been learning at a pretty fast rate the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess if you think about it, what kind of skills do we have on the Nautilus as a general rule,
Yeah.
right? We've got the crew who operate the vessel. We've got the technical staff, so we've got the ROV pilots, we've got the sonar mappers. Don't forget the guys who run all the computers that, you know, are basically allowing us not just to store that data, but essentially send out these high bandwidth video feeds over our satellite link. And then, you know, we kind of focus a little bit more on the top of the pyramid sometimes, but it's always interesting to remember that that pyramid has a whole load of levels in it.
Yeah.
We're part of it. I don't know which level
There's
I'm
science
on.
communication.
I think I'm somewhere near the bottom.
Very important. No. Science communication is extremely important.
It's a big part of Nautilus's view of how we should operate, yeah.
And it's, I mean, in my opinion, it should be a big part of science in general.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's very unattainable for people.
Well, actually, we've got to talk to the people who pay the bills. The people listening are the ones who pay the bills, you know, through their tax dollars.
That too.
Yep. But then in terms of...
I mean, there's geology as well.
Yep. In terms of the
There's
sciences, yeah, we've basically got geology, physical oceanography. We've got even the people who are studying, you know, the fluids we're sampling. Those are basically used by geologists to study how the water is interacting with the hot rock that we never see, a couple of 100 meters or more below these hydrothermal vent systems.
Yeah. Physics and engineering, all the engineerings.
Yep.
Biology, of course.
Yep. Microbiology.
Larger scale ologies.
Yes.
With the entire, I mean, you got to keep the, like, rest of the water column in mind too.
Yep.
You know, the ocean and not just the little things that we look at on the very bottom.
Yeah, so we cover a pretty diverse range of interests.
Yeah. And that's just the Nautilus, not even the whole, you know, long-term kind of NASA mission.
No, that's right. And as Darlene said, really, they're at the very beginning of that process. They're not claiming by any means that ocean exploration is an analog of, you know, the type of exploration that we might proceed over the next decades to undertake to the moon and to Mars, this kind of thing. But they're studying our operations on the Nautilus to see if they might be an analog, what aspects of what we do might be applicable and worthy of study. So they're really at the beginning of their journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually going to have to excuse myself because I'm going to go and get my 20 minutes of dinner.
Yes.
I'm not going to survive on a Twix bar for dinner. I'm actually going to have some of all the proper food groups except chocolate.
Which is a food group.
It is a food group.
Yes.
You should get your 5 a day. But anyway, enjoy the rest of your dive. I hope you discover something wonderful at this ridge that you guys are heading to.
Yeah, me too. Who knows?
Okay.
Are you going to be coming back, John?
I will not. I think Samantha's going to be coming in for the remainder of the dive.
All right, yeah, Sam does come in.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll have plenty of people to chat to. You'll be hearing all the bad jokes on Nautilus Live as we go blue water.
They're not bad jokes.
No, they are. They are. They really are.
Every single one of them? 100%. All of them are bad.
All right.
I think we're going to hurt someone's feelings by saying that.
So science communication is just going to take a little break, but hopefully they'll be back with you soon. So
All right, bye, John.
do keep your posts coming in on Nautilus Live, and Samantha Wishnak will come in a few moments and give you guys some updates. So thanks for sticking with us.
Bye, John. Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad. What?
Hey Nev, this is Sai1. Hi, sorry Ben, I've just come and watched it on a handover from Darlene. I just want to check, so we're heading to waypoint 5, which is that ascent target in high pack. What's our time to that waypoint? 9 minutes, perfect. Okay, great, thanks Ben. I appreciate it, cheers.
Never. I think you're going too fast because Herc's getting turned.
You bet, I've stopped.
Holding station.
Just hanging out now.
I think you can go now, but slow down.
Roger.
Slow your roll, buddy.
Slow your roll.
Wow. Cassie's getting bold.
If you're going to be a proper Argus, the next thing you do is have to give him shit about wraps all the time.
Zero the wraps. All right, I think you slowed down a little too much.
I fully stopped, so that was pretty slow.
So now you're building momentum again.
I'm going again. Sporting it up.
Sport mode activated.
I'll confirm that. Yeah, I did see we were we got time to swing in, right? Okay, so our ship is on location. For those of you at ISC that are listening, the ship has made it to the target waypoint. We are just waiting for the vehicles, Argus and Hercules, to swing into position now. So that should be about another 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, I think.
Awesome, thank you.
You're very welcome.
So Lee, what is our next goal here?
Hello, Samantha.
Hello.
Hi. Hi. So our final waypoint in this dive, actually, no, why don't I hand over to Shannon, actually, seeing as the scientists over at ISC were the ones that came up with the dive plan, because I believe this was going off some prior information that was published or is about to be published by Mbari. So, yeah, maybe I can hand you over to Shannon Cobbs at the ISC to explain why we're heading to waypoint 5.
Awesome.
No problem. So we were looking at the bathymetry data collected by David Clegg and his team at Mbari, which is just spectacular data, and we were trying to figure out if we could identify other features that had similar geometries to what we have been working on for these hot seeps. So this is an area that has a ridge that might be related to a seep, might have nothing to do with one, but we wanted to be able to see if we could test that, and it was within striking distance at the end of today's dive, fortunately.
Fantastic. And if we, do make it there and survey, are there plans to come back to this site during this particular expedition?
Right now, no, because that's getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. It's entirely possible there's going to be nothing. So if we get there and there's something, that'll be something for the science team to quickly put our heads together and make some decisions about.
Fantastic. So a great example of ship and shore working together to make decisions for science and continuing the dive. So for viewers wondering where we all went, we're right in the middle of or ending a meal change. So folks are coming back from dinner and settling back into the next 2 hours of this watch, the 4 to 8 watch, and then we'll be switching again. And this dive will be going until, I think we'll be back on deck around 9 p.m. Pacific today. So we've got a couple of hours of blue water after we reach this upcoming waypoint destination that we're headed towards. And then a couple hours back to the surface. And we'll be on deck overnight and then restart again in the morning, 4 a.m. Pacific time, for the folks who are wondering when our next dive will be. But a couple more hours here, so keep sending in your questions. We are here. I know hear folks coming back on comms after that meal change.
All right, let's see what our altitude is. Found the bottom. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, when you go down. So there's up, right? And then flute, and then down. Yeah, so this, you screw it and go down. I don't know that anybody ever does that, but you can do it. It's the opposite of pistol grip. So no, this goes down. Yeah. I mean, that's what I call it.
Greg, do you have much flute experience? Instrument variety?
No, not instrument variety.
So for the folks at home who are wondering what we could possibly be talking about, the pilots in the front row are talking about the different ways to call the manipulator controller. So apparently folks differ in their preference.
They've been labeled every year. They've been labeled every year. Miles, how far behind the ship am I?
$215 meters.
Nice. Have you seen dolphins and rainbows? No.
No, it's okay. You have your own headset.
So I know what's going into it now. Can't win with this crowd. Did you lose?
Maybe.
I guess, technically, unless it's right now. Yes. I won't tell you when you're in. Okay, that's 6 minutes. I don't know. Oh, wait, no, I got 20 seconds.
20 seconds, yeah. Don't be skating out or
Here's a picture of you when you were younger. I'm not impressed. Show me pictures of you when I was older. I'm not impressed.
Where'd you get that camera? Oh, is that a Machette bird? That's good.
Hey Miles, this is Saiwan. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, I'm heading down a little bit.
Guesstimate as to time for us to reach target?
If we can maintain current speed, we will be there in 6 minutes.
So let's say 10 minutes because we're going to slow down on the swing.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, my bad.
What? No, I was just pointing
I
at
just-
thinking about Miles's call, and so we were going to do a...
Yeah, I've got to come over to the right, but I tugged on you, so it's hard.
I think that's more a note for you than for me. Okay, let's take a look at on left. No, and it wasn't really frame drop. It was fuzziness. I think it may have had
kind of flickery.
I think it may have had to do with the direction that we were moving through the water column with the camera.
How do you mean?
So all the water was hitting the
Oh, you think the camera was vibrating?
there's two potentials. One, that the camera may have been vibrating, and two, okay, no, I don't have a notice from that.
Hey, Sarah.
Yes.
Yes. Back here on the back bench in side 2, one of our screens
But also if the
is
fiber
not
wiggles
working.
too much?
Yes, we are
Is that a
aware.
thing? Okay.
Yes.
That's a thing that's been noted.
It's a thing.
Okay, thank you.
That
I was
has
just-
not found a solution yet.
Okay, no, that's fine. I just wondered if
Not
I'd
always
actually
cooperative.
turned it off
Right.
and had done something wrong, but no, that's fine.
Okay.
Just
yeah.
as long as you
Don't
guys are
look
aware.
now.
Thanks.
No,
No,
it's really hard for me to deal with it.
They always say don't look at the camera.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Who's they?
I don't know, I've never met them.
Mm.
But I knew a kid in college who was in Big Fish. He was the kid in the science experiment, and he was told not to look at the camera. And if you watch that movie again, you will see it. The kid looks everywhere around the perimeter repeatedly, not
But never
looking
looks
at the camera.
Interesting.
We didn't believe him. We had to rewatch the movie. It's him.
That's exactly what he's doing, huh?
All right, so we're still, what, 100 and some meters out?
Yeah, 120. From target.
And we're really just looking at that little ridge? Like right where the ascent dot is?
That's my understanding, yes.
Yeah, I
Okay.
believe that's correct. I think when we get to the location, we will have a look around, but we'll have ISC on the line as well, who will be directing us to see. But this is a place where there might be inferred venting, so we're just going to go have a quick look-see before we have to begin the ascent back to surface.
Right. Which is pretty much hard stop 6:30, so.
Copy that. So yeah, we'll have maybe, what, you reckon another 5 minutes to sight? Or at this speed?
Sorry, what's that, Lee?
We're swinging in, so it's kind of
Hard to...
Yeah, we're just going the speed that we're going.
Okay, no problem.
Hopefully Argus has momentum and
Keep
swims all the
swinging.
way there.
Yeah.
I mean, Argus is getting there on the swing. Like, we're about 5 meters vertical from where we were when we started.
Pendulum, very
Yep.
slow.
Yep, sure is.
So by swing, you literally mean we're kind of penduluming towards
Yeah.
the
Yep,
side.
back under the ship. We were way behind the ship.
Ah,
Go
interesting.
ahead, Data Lab.
Those eye rests, I think, are getting longer.
I know, I think so too.
Do-do-do-do. Did you notice we have a fire extinguisher in the winch hold now?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Where
we
is
do.
it? Oh, yeah. I got you.
Really strapped for a conversation.
Yeah. No, that's a good one to know, though.
Yeah, it's a safety feature.
What
I
about
watched
the one
George
at
put
the end
that
of
in the other day.
one end at the blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
At the door.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but based on where you spend most of your time, I think it's probably
Yeah.
a good idea.
When did that go in?
Yesterday. Because it
Nice.
wasn't there yesterday.
So we've got some questions coming in from the folks at home who are, of course, wondering what we're doing. If we're not going up, we're going sideways. So we are indeed heading to one last site before starting ascend back to the surface around 6:30 Pacific time. In the meantime, a couple folks wrote in that we should have brought some pocket change because there may be venting machines.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
I learned
like
from
that.
Shannon today that the proper response to a really good pun is to boo.
Oh.
That is false.
You think so?
100% false.
Why do you think that?
Really good puns should be applauded.
I've always applauded, but she said to boo, and she did seem like she had a very
Miles, how far out are we
discerning
from the ship?
pun palette.
50 meters.
Okay. Gabby, drive forward. I'm
From
going to go tail
target.
2 and just drive hard. Just pull me the rest of
Oh,
the way.
I gotcha. That's a great idea.
So actually that was one of the questions that someone wrote